Rogue Sun, issue number 21 from Image Comics. So it feels like it's been a while since I've done a Rogue Sun. I mean, I did the last issue, but it feels like it's just been a while since the last issue came out. So a quick recap, there's a new character named Divinity. She shows up, tells Dylan, hey, I need your help. And they go out into the woods where there's this villain named Vane, who is using his supernatural powers to get people onto this like supernatural high, which kind of makes them go crazy. And that's how this issue starts. It starts with Vane sitting on the couch, drinking wine and monologuing, and it sounds like your stereotypical like emo dialogue, and everyone else is ignoring him. Rogue Sun and Divinity are too busy fighting against the addicts that Vane calls his family, and they're arguing with each other. Basically, Dylan wants to stop Mourningstar. He feels like if I just keep fighting enemies are just going to keep coming. But if I go to the source of all this and kill Mourningstar, then there will be no more villains for me to need to fight, and humanity will be safe. Divinity, on the other hand, is like, you can't do that because you're weak. And they argue about this till Divinity says, all right, prove me wrong. I want you to fight Vane and beat him. And so Vane powers up and takes on Dylan. And that's basically what half of this issue is. It's just them fighting. The other half of this issue deals with Juliet, Ari, and Brock going out into the woods where they meet this guy, Finnegan Roots. He's someone that Brock tried to make a deal with in a previous issue, like a long time back. He basically wanted to give Finnegan the Rogue Sunstone, if I remember right, in return for Finnegan bringing back Marcus. It's been a while since that issue, so I could be getting that information wrong, but I think that's what it was. Anyways, something's going on with Ari. For anyone who doesn't remember, there was like an issue where Brock, Juliet, and Ari, they merged with supernatural entities so that they could use their powers to help protect Dylan and fight Caleb's monsters. And Ari combined with the Soul Taker. And the Soul Taker is still like messing with Ari's body, even though she no longer possesses the jewelry that they need to fuse with these creatures. And so they're talking to Finnegan to see how they can deal with exorcising this Soul Taker from out of Ari. Dylan basically gets his butt kicked by Vane. And throughout the entire time, Divinity is just being an annoying ass character. I really can't stand her character. Like, I don't like this character. It's not a sex or race thing. It's a personality thing. I really don't like her personality. Then again, a lot of the characters in this series just have really terrible personalities. Even the main character, Dylan. I hated Dylan for the longest time. Even now, he's gotten a little bit better. He still has a lot of ways to go. I don't know what it is with the writer with this series, just writing unbelievably terrible characters. They are just off-putting. They have no likability. The most likable character, yeah, Juliet's a fine character. I don't have any problems with Juliet. She's trying to do her best. Ari can be hit or miss. She was very annoying at first. She has her moments where she's okay. Now, like, she's just kind of, I don't know. I don't really know what to think of Ari. I guess we'll see how this series continues. Brock started off really annoying. He's gotten better. I don't really care for the Warden character. I don't care for Marcus. I don't care for any of Dylan's quote-unquote friends. So yeah, this series just has the inability to make characters that you can root for. Or at least characters always get introduced in a very terrible light. And then slowly some of them might start redeeming themselves. And it's kind of funny because it gets to the point where Divinity is like, all right, you can't beat him, so I'm going to beat him instead. And she does like one move where she uses her chain to pull down a chandelier. And then she like swings it at Vane. And it looks like she completely misses just based off of this panel. Like, it's not really even hitting him. It says crash, but there's no like marks on him. He's not really reacting to it. And Marcus is like saying, wow, nice move. He's praising her. I'm like, she didn't do anything. And it's just one of those things where it's like, this is going to be one of those characters where everyone's constantly praising them. Marcus never really said any nice things about Dylan. But now as soon as you see one character swing a chandelier, all of a sudden you're going to start praising them. I know this is kind of nitpicky, but it's just one of those things where like I hate this. But yeah, she completely defeats the hell out of Vane and embarrasses Dylan and basically shows that, hey, you're not ready for Mourningstar. And it turns out that was the whole point of this. The whole point of her dragging Dylan out here was to embarrass him and try to get him to back out from taking on Mourningstar. Instead of, I don't know, maybe just saying, hey, you're not ready, to fight Mourningstar, but what if we like just train you even more? Thankfully, there's a point later on here where Dylan points out to Marcus, like, hey, you're purposely sabotaging me, or at least that's what it feels like. Because he points out that everyone has these like cool abilities, all the other Rogue Sons. When we got stuck in the Sunstone or the Rogue Sun Valhalla, all the other Rogue Sons had crazy abilities and special weapons and stuff. And there have been a couple times when I've been able to like shoot fire and stuff, but I have no idea how to do that. But you haven't taught me anything like that. You haven't taught me how to use any special abilities. You haven't taught me how to summon special weapons. Even when Caleb had control over my body, he was able to summon like an army of demons and things like that. Why is it that every other Rogue Son can do all these crazy, fantastical things, and I can't do any of them? What are you hiding from me? Like, either I like just completely got no luck when it came to my suit and I got absolutely no abilities whatsoever other than the generic stuff that comes with the Sunstone power, or you're purposely sabotaging me. So which one is it? And I'm like, okay, I like this because this is something that I have noticed. Why is it that Dylan can't do any other thing that like all the other Rogue Sons can do? And I completely understand from the story point, you don't want to have your character learn and master all the abilities that they can right from the get-go, because that's just very boring. You don't want a super OP main hero. You want a character who's like struggling to learn their powers and things like that. And once they finally get to master one, then all of a sudden a new power shows up that they're struggling with, and it's just, you keep going. So I completely understand that. But at the same time, I didn't really care for the fact that no one ever questioned any of this. But I'm glad that they addressed it here now, where Dylan finally notices, hey, either I'm stuck with the worst mentor in history, or you're holding out on me on purpose. So which one is it? And I think it's the latter. I don't know. I still don't know about Marcus. He seems to be doing everything he can to not really help his kid. It seems like he kind of just wants to use this opportunity to just kind of badger Dylan whenever he can. So hopefully Dylan's like, hey, you're holding out on me. Freaking teach me. Actually teach me. Tell me what abilities I can do. Don't hide any of this stuff from me anymore. And I'm not going to spoil everything, but I will say that there's like a setup for what the next arc is going to be. I will say I am really interested to see how the next arc is going to go. It has a theme that I'm very excited for. Without spoiling too much, I'll just say murder mystery, which I really love that genre. So we're basically doing a murder mystery arc. So that's cool. All in all, I didn't care too much for this issue, minus a couple of things. Well, I don't want to say I didn't care. I didn't care too much for Dylan's stuff, except for the end. I am kind of interested to see what's going on with the Bell family. Like, what's going to be happening with Ari? How are they going to deal with the whole Soul Taker thing? That's kind of interesting. With Dylan, I feel like he's already spent this entire series just getting embarrassed left and right, and people constantly just dragging him through the mud. That it would be nice to actually see him not. I mean, whether it's his family, whether it's his dad, whether it's the villains, whether it's his ex, like, I don't know. Things never seem to be going Dylan's way, which is, again, that's okay. Like, you don't want a series where a character is constantly, like, succeeding all the time, because then, again, that also gets very boring. But at the same time, it's just, I feel like, can we do anything else with Dylan? Does it have to be the same thing over and over again? Could we have Dylan come to the possibility of, hey, my dad's holding out on me when it comes to my abilities, without having to have this new annoying character completely embarrass him? There are new ways you can do things and introduce stuff without just the same formula of, let's embarrass this character. Okay, he makes a little bit of progress. We're going to keep embarrassing him some more. Okay, he makes maybe a little bit of progress. All right, let's embarrass him again. And can we just introduce a new character that's likable from the start? Every time you introduce a new character, they are just very, very unlikable. But I'm kind of rambling at this point. Rogue Sun 21 was average. It was mid. It's 5 out of 10. There are things I liked about it, things I hated about it. I'm hoping that the next issue is going to be a lot better. I liked the previous issue. I felt like Rogue Sun started off really, really terrible for like the longest time. And then in the past few issues, it started to get better. And then this issue is kind of a dip. And I'm hoping that the next issue will rise back up again. But I guess we'll wait and see. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far. And I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, Thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.